Hey, what's up everybody? Hey, I'm excited to bring you a fantastic experience here in the Plaza Midwood area at Supperland. Now, gotta give you a fair warning, this video is actually gonna be in two parts, given the depth and complexity of all that they have to offer you, the customer, at Supperland. We're gonna bring you two videos. So, let's get started on part one. Come on inside. Jamie, so glad we're here together with you today.
So
Jamie
glad to
Brown
have you.
of Supperland. So you all have been in business here in this location at Supperland since when?
So we just opened up in March of 2021. It was right after
Wonderful
the
time to
pandemic.
open.
It was.
Yeah.
But once we opened, it was a great time. We had diners outside, we had people inside, people wearing masks, not wearing masks, just whatever people felt comfortable with. And we just were very lucky to open right when we did.
So what led you guys here? Tell me a little bit about you and your husband and what it really got you into the restaurant business and then ultimately led you to what Supperland is today.
Sure. So Jeff and I are not restaurant people. We didn't come from the restaurant business. This was kind of a pipe dream to open up our own spot. I look back and sometimes I don't even know how we had the bravery to do what we did, but we did. We gave our notices, we put all of our stuff in storage, and then we put backpacks on our back and we went off to Europe. And we left for 8 or 9 months. For us, it was also a time of awakening and seeing, okay, we weren't on the right path. And we talked a lot on our travels about opening a restaurant together and how much fun that would be. And I mean, hours would pass and we'd be dreaming about it. Eventually, he took me to dinner one night and he said, I've decided I know what I want to do with my life. I want to open this restaurant. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was cute when we were traveling.
Yeah. Did you take a big swig of wine or something in that moment? You're like,
I had a beer. I had a Blue Moon in front of me. And
go.
yes, I couldn't say yes, but I also couldn't say no at that time. So I just kind of let it sit. And over the next few weeks, I just saw how impassioned he was by this idea. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to be a good partner, it's time to just let him do what he feels is right to do.
Tell me about Supperland. So what brought Supperland to your mind and what then brought it to life?
So when we're making a restaurant, we really go about it. Maybe it's a unique way, maybe it's the way a lot of people do it, I don't know. But we don't really come up with a concept until we're in the building itself. We go and find a beautiful, compelling space, and then we create a restaurant within its doors. And I think that's a different way of looking at things. And for us, it's important to, every one of our places, this is our 5th spot, and every one of them is not necessarily denoted historic, but it's in an order property, so 30s and 40s and 50s, and most of them are. And I think when you're having to be a steward of the space itself, we want to be more thoughtful about what we put forth and have it help tell the story of what was there, and just create something that can only be in that spot.
The place is beautiful. I've said that to you multiple times. For folks that have not been to your restaurant, the bar, the speakeasy, they have to come in just to see the feel, the design in here, which you do a lot of that, correct, yourself?
It's a lot of Jeff and I batting around ideas, and I think something about old buildings that we're always trying to be very aware of is that some things should stay just the way that they are, and that's something that can be hard to pick out, but that first time when we walked in the building, doors opened, we looked around, and I looked at the walls and I said, don't touch them, because they were so beautiful just as they were. When we also first walked in, there were still remnants of the original aisle that went down the center of the church, because that's where carpet was. They ran carpet and then they had the hard floors.
Yeah. Right.
So the floor was a very different color in this long stripe going down the aisle, and I said, we're gonna keep that too. So kind of playing off those things, we wanted it to be when you walked in those doors that you could see the fire grill.
It goes back to that theatrical event that you're creating.
Absolutely.
That's amazing, yeah. So the dish, what you all serve here. Tell us a bit about what you all serve and how that came to life.
Oh, the food. I think
best part.
You mentioned the wood fire, so that's important.
A lot of it stems from that wood fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. My husband, we call it his midlife crisis, that 14-foot fire grill. He was very into like doing some sort of fire cooking here. It's very much an Argentinian style of cooking, where you're cooking over open flames. So he wanted to put in this big grill. So we wanted to have a steakhouse style of menu. There are a number of reasons why. It fits well, obviously, with that fire grill. But the food itself, there are a number of challenges that come into play for restaurants right now, and one of them is with dietary needs. So a steakhouse menu for us, particularly with family style dining, you need to be aware of, hey, I don't eat butter. Hey, I can't eat nuts. I'm a celiac. There's so many different things, or just even preferences. I'm a vegetarian, whatever it is. So using a steakhouse format menu allows you to do that pretty well, especially if you design the dishes in a way that a lot of the finishing touches can be removed or changed or modified in the production process. So that's a big part of it, but we wanted it to have this like elevated fine dining, but feel like it was very casual and welcoming as well.
Right.
So.
Well, you guys have been successful. We're so excited for you all. I know Charlotte is proud and cheering you on, just because with that growth, people are going to want to grow as well. And I think being a staple in the community with multiple different concepts, being as caring and giving as you and Jeff have been in the community, I know that is going to be what's driving people to be a part of whatever may come in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Michael? I'm glad we got to spend some time with you today. Michael Klinger, the wine director here for Supperland.
Correct.
So, hey, I gotta know, what got you into wine other than the love of drinking it?
What really got me into it was starting to work in restaurants while I was in college. This was back in Durham, North Carolina, great food town as well. Worked in some amazing restaurants there. And even my very first restaurant, as soon as people were starting to, look at the wine list, order a nice bottle with dinner, start to talk about it and get engaged, I wanted to learn as much about that as I could. 4 years ago, I had passed my advanced certification with the Court of Master Sommeliers. And after that, there's only one more step, and that's to take the Master Sommelier exam. And at the time, there was a restaurant here in Charlotte called Cork Buzz that had a Master Sommelier affiliated with it. So I took the leap to move to Charlotte to have that opportunity, and learned a lot there for my first year in Charlotte, and then moved on to another restaurant before catching up with Jeff and Jamie just a little over 2 years ago. And as soon as I met them and I heard about Supperland, I wanted to be a part of it, and I've been here ever since.
Tell me a little bit about the venture here at Supperland. You have a lot of different moving parts. You provide wine to all aspects of the restaurant, right?
We do.
What else do you guys do with the wine program here?
Well, it is multifaceted. We have a pretty extensive by the glass list. We pour 30 wines by the glass, from champagne and orange wine and rosé. Of course, we have to have, to me, the wine needs to follow the food. We've got that wood-fired grill cooking the best steaks in town, so I've got a lot of Cabernets and Malbecs and Bordeaux's and Tuscan wines to go with that. But want to have a little something for everyone, so I've got some lighter whites. Of course, you have to have champagne to start your night. So in the restaurant list, we've got a by the glass list, and then we also have a pretty extensive bottle selection with about 250 bottles, ranging from 50 to, at this point, we do have some $600 or $700 bottles. And then we do have the wine room downstairs, where you can have a set menu, and I will pre-select some pairings depending on what you've chosen for your dinner, what you tend to like. And then finally, we do some special events. I think I mentioned out in this space, we did a rosé garden party back in May.
That's awesome.
I'm so grateful that we had this opportunity. Again, congratulations on your recognition. I can't wait to experience what you all have going on here with the wine program at Supperland.
Hold on a minute. Before we finish, I have to put you on the spot.
Okay.
If you could have one wine for the rest of your life, what type would it be?
Oh boy, that's a big one.
Well, there's a lot of wines I love. I love Chablis, I love Sangiovese, but if I could only have one thing, champagne.
Me too!
Oh, Wow. Champagne. Well, guys, I have to say, I'm not with you in that corner. For some reason, I can do one glass of champagne. After that, I get the headache that comes with it. I don't know. Some people do, some don't. For me, it would be cab all day long. I'm a big, bold cab guy.
Well, we are a Southern Steakhouse. I do have a few very nice Cabernets down in our wine room.
What do you say we go take a look?
Let's
Check
do
it
it.
out.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Now we're going to take a look at the pastry program here at Supperland. I'm down here with Savannah. Savannah's the pastry chef. Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. So, hey, listen, what I want you to tell us is a little bit about the pastry program, and we cannot wait to find out how you all make the desserts so amazing here at Supperland. So tell us a little bit, how long have you been at Supperland?
I've been at Supperland for just over a year. I started last October.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about your pastry program. I know that you supply, everything is made in-house. You supply the main restaurant and for special events that you all host, yeah? Tell me a little bit about how that process gets started each day.
So I come in, first thing I do in the morning is I bake the bread. I get that out of the way, and then I'll start laying into anything else that needs baked. So cookies, pies, all of our oven stuff baked fresh in the morning. And then once I can get all the oven stuff out of the way, I'll move on to things that I can do here, like cutting the apples and getting them ready for the pies for tomorrow, and things that are needed for the speakeasy and all that little stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all have an extensive menu, but you have desserts that are paired perfectly for that menu, correct? Yeah. And you have a crew behind you, so I know that you work hard down here, and then you've got guys and gals that are working hard behind the scenes to make it all come to life, right?
Yes.
So Savannah, everything smells so good in here, by the way. What is one of your favorite things to make right now?
I think my favorite thing to make that's on our menu right now is probably our chocolate marshmallows or the ice cream for our ice cream sundae. So we use liquid nitrogen to make the ice cream for the ice cream sundae, so I feel like a little bit like a mad scientist when I get to get my hands dirty with that. And then the marshmallows are just kind of fun.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and we can't wait to get out there later today and see your desserts actually coming out and come to life. Wow, so much history. It was amazing sitting down with Jamie and learning more about their ventures, how Supperland came about, and all that they have to offer here. Now, if you want to see the really cool stuff, that was great. But next week, on part 2, we're going to take you into the kitchen where it all comes to life, and we're going to be bringing the heat. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you then. Oh, and if you liked today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you come back next week. We'll see you then.